A new law in Kansas targets those who carry out human smuggling.
Well, some think the law has unintended consequences, including Kansas Governor Laura Kelly, who claims the bill was part of a rushed process and accuses lawmakers of not considering the full impact of this bill. Those thoughts are echoed by some undocumented immigrants and advocacy groups.
So tonight, with all of that in mind, we're going 360. KSHB 41 News reporter Daniela Leon listens to the varying perspectives on this important topic.
For Yasmin Bruno, Kansas is home.
I love Kansas. This is home, and I can't imagine living anywhere else other than here in KCK.
But living in the Sunflower State as a dreamer makes everyday life a challenge. For her, public parks offer a sense of anonymity, especially when talking about her journey to the U.S.
There is a lot of fear when being undocumented. You carry that, there's a lot of shame.
She says her future in Kansas is at a standstill with the passing of a new anti-smuggling law. Supporters of the law say it helps fight a humanitarian crisis, but immigration advocates say the law is generating confusion. So we're going 360, talking to people impacted by the law, lawmakers and law enforcement who back the new law, immigration attorneys and agencies who say the law violates a person's legal rights, and agencies tasked with enforcing the law.
Currently, we do not have law against human smuggling in our state.
The bill was introduced earlier this year and turned into law after a Republican supermajority overrode Governor Laura Kelly's veto.
I'm in total disagreement with Governor Kelly. She did not do her research, clearly didn't meet with the law enforcement community.
Supporters of the new law, like Representative Timothy Johnson, say safeguards are in place. Under this new law, smuggling is a felony crime. If someone is caught transporting or harboring a person knowing they're undocumented for financial gain or exploitation, Representative Johnson argues the state had to step in to keep Kansas safe.
We're not getting help from the federal. There's no help from Homeland Security. There's no help.
According to the American Immigration Council, there are nearly 68,000 undocumented people living in Kansas. That group represents $1.2 billion in spending power. Advocacy groups and immigration attorneys say the law is confusing. For example, they worry about volunteers providing rides or families with mixed immigration status. Could they be charged with a level 5 smuggling felony?
They are scared. This law really caused a lot of fear amongst the community. We've had people cancel their doctor's appointments, their school appointments, because they're so fearful of this law.
Immigration attorney Angela Ferguson says the problem is the new law includes an alleged victim's immigration status as part of its language, going against a person's due process right and conflicting with federal immigration law.
The federal government is in charge of who comes into its borders, and I believe that the Kansas law overreaches.
Groups like Advocates for Immigration Rights and Reconciliation echo similar concerns and say the law's text is broad. They're holding seminars throughout Kansas to try and educate people on their rights.
We are not opposed to the second section of aggravated human smuggling. We are all for law enforcement doing their job. As far as it being so vague and questioning people that are just going on their daily things.
But this law was passed with support from various local and state police agencies, including the Franklin County Sheriff's Office.
We've got a couple businesses where people work who are not here lawfully, but this is not an attempt to usurp immigration law or anything like that. From talking to those people, from interviewing them, we learned a little bit about their process to get here, and learned how the treacherous conditions that they endured.
Kansas has in place a human trafficking law, but smuggling and immigration status were not part of that law.
What was it about that human trafficking law, I guess, that you felt simply wasn't closing the law enforcement gap?
For someone to be a victim of human trafficking, there has to be threats, coercion, something like that.
The sheriff says smuggling statistics are tough to track, but with I-35 running through his county, it's led to previous instances. And since there was no law specifically on smuggling, people who were caught doing it were charged with other crimes. The Kansas City, Kansas Police Department says the passing of this law doesn't change the way they do their job.
Immigration is not a local police issue. Human smuggling as we've seen in the news, is a very dangerous thing for those individuals who are being smuggled.
But what about the element of racial profiling? KSHB police and the Franklin County Sheriff's Office say a crime needs to happen in order for law enforcement to pull anyone over in the first place.
We haven't been going in neighborhoods, kicking in doors, and it just is not going to happen. And unfortunately, what we've been focused on in KCK is violent crime, and that's going to continue to be our focus.
Now back to Yasmin Bruno, immigrated to the U.S. at the age of 3 and has streamer status. She says despite law enforcement's assurance, this law will hurt the undocumented community and her family who has mixed immigration status. And it's only a matter of time before the new law gets challenged.
I think it's a very dangerous law. I would say that it is already a very complicated system to have a relationship with the police department within our law enforcement.
We tried to talk to Kansas Attorney General Chris Kobach for this story. He canceled last minute, citing a scheduling conflict, but sent us a statement instead.
The statement says the law's intent is to stop trafficking and that state laws can be enacted to assist the federal government in immigration enforcement. The Arizona State Law Journal says states do have limited authority to encourage or deter immigration, but that immigration regulation is ultimately a federal power. Danielle Leon, KSHB 41 News.